Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. How are you? Back in the car, guys. We're back in the car. It's the simplest and easiest today, these days. But anyway, welcome back, you guys. How are you guys doing? How is your day? How is everything? How is the weather where you are at? Are you, embracing the weather, whatever kind of weather you got going on? You guys. So, as we have lately been discussing, friendships, relationships, connections, and all the things, right, that have to do with life, with, and who we surround ourselves with, and, you know, basically the good and the bad of all those things. I wanted to talk to you guys about today, pretty much on the same topic of pretty much like, what is your village looking like? A lot of times, you guys, we have, we come from a family. We all come from somewhere. We all come from a family. And there's a lot of times in life, you guys, after you have, gone through the things and the schoolings and all that stuff, sometimes it's time for you. And, some people, it starts early on in that, as far as finding your own tribe, finding your own family, finding your own village. Coming out here in Tanzania, I feel like it really has been an up and down. It really has been an up and down type of situation. Like you make connections and you drop the connections, and then you make friendships and it does not work out. And it's you have to be patient. You have to be patient, and you have to allow things to develop naturally. You don't want to just claim, you don't want just to claim people, as part of your village until you really know, you know what's up, how they are, how you guys vibe, because like for me, for instance, if I'm not cool with you, like you will never see my children. Like, that's just how I am. Like, why would I put anyone in the same, proximity with my kids if I know that person does not, want to see me do well? Like, like, no, like, those are mine. Go find yours. And that's that, So yeah, so my children definitely play a role when it comes to me finding a specific village, group of people, other things. Okay. And so you have to also make your own, criterias. You have to have some kind of scale as to who you want around you and why. Okay. There's all types of tribes, you guys. There's tribes for as far as work, work, families, friendships, and all the things. And I feel like, especially if you are relocating and you are leaving all your close knit people behind, it's important to keep your options open, to keep your heart open, and just to do your due diligence, and make sure when you decide, because for me, you guys, side note, this is me. I do not like every Tom, Dick, and Harry, or every Sue, Pollyann, whatever, you know what I mean? For my kids to be calling them auntie and uncle. I have never, I don't know. You have to been around me for like a very hot minute before I tell my kids, okay, yeah, you can call them uncle. Yeah, you can call them auntie, because kids, it's hard for them to break from that kind of, connection. And I don't see it's necessary. Like, I understand the whole, adults are adults and you want your kids to be respectful and whatever, but they can easily call you Miss, Ma'am, and whatever, Mr. They don't have to call you uncle. They don't have to call you something that's so personable and so relative. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, and around here in Tanzania, you guys, it's pretty much everybody's an uncle, but everybody's an aunt. Like, we drive up here, we drive to our home, and it's like all the little kids are running behind hubby's car, uncle, 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 and it's, it's a different atmosphere, and I understand, but I'm not from that. Nah. So you definitely have to, you know, think about who you want around you and around your life long term, you know, and make sure that they're good people, they're good hearted people, they're people that you that they're not just doing certain things, certain acts as an act. You know what I mean? Like it has to be truth and, you know, within you. Like I meant when I say about that whole no new friends situation. Like I'm just not you know, I'm not built like that at all anymore, I guess. You know what I mean? However, I understand that, you know, it's necessary. I understand to make connections and relationships is necessary in life in general. However, you know, you have to be mindful of who you involve in your life. Is this village going to be coming inside your home? Is this village going to be someone you can depend on to pick up your kids from school? Is this village people you can even, you know, trust to have your child sleep over their house, or vice versa? Like I'm not from that. Look, we were not allowed to sleep over nobody's, not even relatives' houses. You know what I mean? That is not where we are from. That's just is, y'all. It's just, that's just how it is. You know, that's that Haitian life. If you know, you know. However, I understand, you know, things change. That part though, that has not changed. Like that's how I grew up, and that's how I'm good. Like it seems like the world has gone into much more chaos since then than those times. Okay, so why would I have my children sleeping out? No, go hang out with your little friend. I know their parents, whatever. Come right back home. I'll pick you up. All the things, you know. But yeah, you guys, you have to, you know, it's important to know who you want as your village. It's important to know, you know, what type of people, because you know what? There's been times where, you know, we've heard of people coming, you know, like saying like, oh, this is their friend, you know, my friend has a friend and such and such. And then later on, we hear all this stuff about that particular friend that was my friend's friend. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's nothing that you want to be like associated with. Like, no, like I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? You have to be careful. You have to be careful, because sometimes it's not just like, it's not idle gossip. You know what I mean? It's not idle gossip. It's actual things that can, you know, mess up your business, mess up your friendships, and, you know, outside of that friendship. It's just, you guys, we are in a time right now where research is everything. Research is everything. You have to be able to find out and know about certain people, because really and truly, like even here in Tanzania, right? They want to put on this persona as like, you know, your workers are family members and such and such and such. Okay, sure. You know, of course, when you live out here, you learn a little bit more differently, you know? You learn. Um yeah, guys. Sorry about that. That was hubby. Change of plans for dinner. Or whatever. Yeah, you guys. So let me straighten you guys up a little bit. Yeah, you guys, you definitely have to choose wisely who you're gonna have as your village, you guys, because you never know. A lot of times, you know, yes, we can't choose our families, you know, our blood families and stuff, but you can definitely choose, you know, who you surround yourself with. You know, I'm grateful, like, you know, anybody that have come into my life, like my sister who has come into my life, and, you know, like we're not blood related or anything like that, but she's like my sister, like hardcore. We chose each other. You know what I mean? We chose each other. We chose to be family. And, you know, later on, it was so funny because later on, you know, hubby is her husband's uncle. So, so yeah, so eventually we became actual family like that, you know? If you guys are interested in that story, let me know. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things, you guys, you have to be able to, you know, pinpoint and know, if once you know yourself, you guys, and I tell you guys all the time, you know, as of late, you have to learn more about yourself daily, and, you know, be intentional about learning about yourself and learning about what you like and what you want surrounding you, because choosing people that you want to, you know, basically be close knit to you and your family and your loved ones and all that stuff, even if it's just you, you are your loved one. Even if it's just you, like, don't be looking for people, you know, to increase your life and to be part of your life, all that stuff, and without, you know, doing a little bit of research, because you're doing yourself a disservice. You really are. Because for all you know, those people are drunks. For all you know, those people are manipulators. For all you know, those people are going around here stealing from everybody else. And, you know, it's and it's happened. It has happened, you guys. I'm telling this from experience. Like, there's been people that we have tried to incorporate into our lives. You know, we adore their kids, we adore their, you know, their demeanor, everything. And then slowly but surely, you know, the banana peels, the onion peels, whatever you want, the layers start coming off. And it's like, what? Like, no, I don't want any part of this, you know? So you have to be careful. You have to be aware, but it's very important still to, you know, develop that kind of village for yourself. You know, don't be out in this world by yourself thinking that there's no one out there for you to, you know, be a part of your life and, you know, have your back and all those things, you know. I take my friendships very seriously. I take, you know, like my closest, I can count my closest friends on one hand, you know, and I'm good with that. I don't need no more than that. As far as, you know, not you guys, all you guys, come on in, subscribe. Yes, we could be online friends. I need all y'all in here, okay? But as far as like real life, you guys, real life, I have a very, you know, tight circle, and I'm happy with that. I spent enough time of my years trying to accumulate friends, and for what? You know, it's hard enough to keep up with, you know, the little bit I have, you know, let alone trying to keep up with a bunch of people that aren't really, you know, there for you like that, you know, because really and truly, after a certain amount of people, it's just names you're collecting names. You know, so yeah, you guys, like, be aware, pay attention, do a little, I'm not saying go be an FBI agent and doing all types of background checks. If you can, you can, but, you know, just keep your heart open to the idea. Go after, you know, opening up your heart to friendships. Okay. Friendships that will, not only benefit you, but it'll benefit the other person as well. You know, no codependency type of situations. Okay. Just good, solid, valuable friendships, you know, like, let me call you if I need sugar. Let me, you know, and call me if I need to, you know, bail you out because somebody else did you wrong. Now you did somebody else wrong, you know, things like that. Like, you guys, it's important. It's important to know what you are capable of, know what kind of love you're capable of, and know, just know yourself, know a lot more about yourself, so you know exactly what kind of people that you need to have around you, because you might know very little about yourself, and to the point where you are attracting the wrong people, because you are operating in lack of knowledge of yourself, and you are operating your life based off of just circumstances and things like that. And next thing you know, your friendships and your, you know, connections are basically off of those type of interactions, you know, circumstances. Like, you don't want that. You want intentional yet authentic friendships. Okay, that can happen. You can have it doesn't have to be forced, but at the same time, it's intentional. Like, okay, this person seems, you know, like we can hang out. Let's hang out. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then slowly but surely, you'll see the person for who they really are, and they'll see you for who you really are. And, you know, before you know it, you have yourself a little village. You guys, it's important to have that village, because there are going to be days. There are going to be those days where you need that village. You need that. I don't care if it's just one person and you, like, you need that village. And don't allow other people to even, like, kind of like destroy that village if there's nothing to be destroyed. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a good, solid friendship, definitely go out your way to keep it. go out your way to keep your friendships and eventually we're all adults. Like there's no need for you to have to, you know, answer to anybody when it comes to the people you choose to have in your life, you know? But yeah, you guys, I hope this, you know, helps someone, because I feel like a lot of us right now, because of the climate, because of the way the world is right now, you know, we may be so alone, but yet we are afraid to reach out and go about life in a way that invites other people into our lives, because, you know, it's scary out there. So it's scary out there because people are just going off of the vibes of the world right now, and those vibes may not be good. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to seem desperate, you don't want to seem shut off, you don't want to seem, you know, all those negative things, you know, if that's not what you're going through, that's not who you really are. So definitely keep your heart open, you know, and yeah, and just do the diligence for yourself and make sure that the friendships that you're going after, that they're worthy of your friendship and your connection. Anyway, guys, I hope this reaches you and that it edifies your life and that you are able to move around in this world feeling connected. And all the good things, you guys, all the good things. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the bell, you guys, and I'll be seeing you very soon. Talk to you guys soon. Be blessed.